This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Do you want to have the freedom to design your own life? Are you ready to know that you have the power to create any reality that you desire? If so, Alchemy of Manifestation, my manifestation community, is designed to help you manifest anything that you've ever desired. Within this year-long membership, you will learn proven techniques to gain the abundance, success, and happiness that you've always desired. You're going to learn to tap into the power of the universe so that you can alchemize any reality that you've ever wanted. Not only will you learn to manifest your new reality, you'll also learn how to build a new identity so that you become the person who effortlessly, energetically aligns with all of their desires. So if you're completely ready to transform your life and unlock your full potential, then join Alchemy of Manifestation today, and you can start manifesting everything you've ever desired. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Alexa, and we are on day 8 of my 30 Days of Manifestation podcasts. I have been totally loving this series, and it's been so cool to really be able to elaborate on topics that I just see not enough people delving into. And so today's topic is really going to be an extension of that. So I want to talk to you today about how manifestation isn't a quick fix. Manifestation isn't like, oh, I need to manifest something so that way I can feel better, so that way I can have this insert short-term game here. Oh, it's early and I only have drank half my coffee. Short-term gain. Okay, third time's a charm. So I find that a lot of people, especially because I am now shifting and I'm really focusing on my TikTok. It's my favorite platform, and I'm just honoring that. I felt for a while like I had to be on Instagram because that's where all of the coaches were, and that's where the coaches that were making big money were. But I truly believe that we're seeing a huge shift right now, and I'm really excited to be one of the coaches doing big business and actually being on TikTok. I'm having so much fun connecting with you guys. Like, I have a quantum leaping video that's going off right now, and I'm so excited that so many of you are coming into my world and really understanding the complexity of manifestation of the quantum universe. That's literally why I have a whole course called Quantum that module 1 just dropped last week, because this course is going to teach you all of the science behind manifestation. So if you're somebody that really wants to go deep in the quantum realm, then you want to jump into Quantum, because that is the program where I'm going to explain everything, all of the science behind the manifestation principles, all of the elaborate explanations that you probably never even realized that you needed to know to be able to fully grasp the quantum universe and the parallel universes and quantum manifestation. While I love, and I say this all the time, while I love TikTok, while I love the manifestation community and all of the videos, I just see that a lot of people aren't actually manifesting their desires because they don't get what's really required. in manifestation. And so instead of doing the work, they are focusing on these short-term gains. And then when they don't get the gain, they get defeated and they start believing that manifestation doesn't work. But in reality, manifestation was never about the material gains. Manifestation is always about you becoming the best version of yourself and the most authentic version of yourself, the most healed version of yourself, and the most abundant version of yourself, healthy version of yourself. Like all of the high vibrational feelings and frequencies that our human society tells us that we're limited in, but it's actually our inherent state of being. And what ends up happening is the people that consistently manifest their desires, they're typically the happiest, most fulfilled, and satisfied people you've ever met. Why is that? It's not because of the things that they have. They became that person before they had those things. And I get it. Like, I get why so many people struggle with this notion, because you were programmed to believe that you had to get something to feel something. But here's my thing with this. If that teaching was correct, then the people that become multimillionaires wouldn't be killing themselves. Then people that become overnight famous wouldn't be depressed. Money doesn't buy happiness, and this terminology came from wealthy people who didn't have money, who obtained money and still found no happiness. And quite honestly, money is an energy and it's a mirror reflection. So the more money you have, it's just going to mirror your insecurity. I remember the first time I made $10,000 and I was fucking panicked. I have never felt more limited in my entire life because I was so dysregulated with that much money. And I thought I had done enough money mindset work, but it was clear that my nervous system was so dysregulated when it came to it. So money isn't the thing. Like, I get that you're like, oh, but I'd be so much happier if I had this. And it's like, no, you actually wouldn't. You would feel more secure. You would feel safer. You might feel a little better about yourself and about your quality of life, but it's not going to change how you feel. You change how you feel. And here's the thing. We come from a sick society that profits off of our sickness and ignorance, especially if you're in America. And I don't say this to be negative. I say this because we are at an imperative time where the collective conscious needs to wake up. We came here as a collective. We came here, we asked to be incarnated on earth during this time so that we could be the ones that paved this new paradigm forward. And if you are here listening to this podcast, you are one of those people who asked to go through all of this so that way we could build a paradigm on 5D consciousness. And what that looks like is crumbling all of these old ways of society. And one thing that I have learned from reading a bunch of spiritual texts is that and honestly, I wouldn't have even had to read the text to know this because I witnessed and intuitively knew it anyway, but this is just such beautiful confirmation, is that they all say that this generation is doing more work than any human generation in the past. And what's so funny is like the baby boomer plus generation would be rolling hearing me say that right now, because they're like, what do you mean? You people don't want to work. Millennials and below, you don't want to work. And I literally said to my father the other day, and he wasn't saying this, but I was saying this in a conversation. I was like, the older generations think that the younger generations don't want to work, but that's not the case. We don't want to work in the way that society and your generation worked, because we want to work smarter and not harder. And here's the thing. Well, they don't see us out there doing all of this manual labor and trading all of our time for $1 or for whatever, this false sense of security that a job can give you. It's that we are actually doing the work on ourselves. We are the lineage breakers. We are the ones that are dealing with the emotional turmoil that comes from 10 to 14 generations in our past, which is proven by epigenetics. We are the generation who is clearing all of the bullshit. So for example, like I just want to give you the gravity of that so you fully understand. When I say 10 to 14 generations in your lineage, my 10th great grandmother was the last witch killed in the Salem witch trials. I have chills when I say that, and everyone is always like, wait, what? If you go to Salem, Massachusetts, and you go to the monument, if you go to the memorial, if you go to the gravesite, and you walk to Martha Carrier's grave, it is there. And she was my 10th great grandmother. So what that means is the healing work that I am doing right now, I am healing that generation. So she was killed because she was a powerful woman who had money and land, which was not acceptable for a woman to have in her time. So what does that mean? That means I have to go through a lot of money wounds because in my past I was killed for having money, and then I also have to go through a lot of power wounds because I was killed for having power and being a woman in her power. Now, that also means that if you are around my age, that if you have any lineage to the witch trials, you're also healing that. And as a woman, we have been basically dealing with the Salem witch trials forever because women are still turning against women. Women are still gossiping against women. Men have still controlled women and been afraid of their power, and we're still seeing that. So if you're a woman, you are still healing this. If you have anything that was in your past lineage that was intense, which most of our generations were at that time, we have gone through so much. We are the generation that is healing all of that. That's why we are doing so much personal development work. That's why we're doing so much shadow work. That's why we're doing so much frequency work. That's why we're doing so much mindset work. That's why we are primarily focusing on becoming the best version of ourselves, because our past generations did not have the opportunity to do this, and they actually failed to do it because they were too busy working, because they were too busy buying into the matrix programming that told them that if you took care of yourself, that was selfish. That if you didn't trade all of your time for caring for everyone else and going to work and slave away, that was selfish. The thing is that while manifestation is the most beautiful thing, it's a way of life. And if you are not willing to change the way that you live your life, and if you're not willing to change who you are, and the first step is becoming really fucking self-aware and then really fucking accountable for all of your bullshit. Quite honestly, and here's the thing, right? You guys know I'm not the coach that sugarcoats things. Like I always joke and say I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I'm gonna tell you like it is. Because one, I trust that you can hear it. And two, there's too many people. Like our society lately has become way too wishy-washy, and we need to just say it like it is. There's too many of you that want to manifest, insert a thing, so that way you don't have to do the work on yourself. Like, let's talk about shadow work, shall we? Because the shadow work that you see on TikTok is all like, oh, let's journal and let's do this. No, shadow work is going deep into your unconscious to actually be aware of your unconscious traits, look at the ugly shit, sit with the gnarly shit, and learn how to transcend it. If you're not willing to get uncomfortable in a room with yourself in the darkness, if you're not willing to meditate, if you're not willing to try to visualize, if you're not willing to rewire your mind, if you're not willing to regulate your nervous system, if you're not willing to recode your cellular DNA, those are the three things that are requirements. It's not like you could do this if you want to. No, you have to. If you want to consistently manifest all of your desires, you have to do the healing work on yourself. Is that fucking ugly? Yes, it is. Is it brutal? You're damn sure it is. Is it going to rock every fiber of your being? Fuck yes. How does the phoenix rise? It turns to ashes and it is reborn. You and all of us in the collective right now are being called to rise from the ashes. And here's the thing is, I have so much fucking hope and so much excitement for what's happening in the world. I know that you're probably like, wait, what? Because if you turn on the news, if you're following the current events, if you are in America and paying attention, you probably want to curl up in a ball or like light shit on fire. And I get it. But here's the thing, that's why I don't watch the news. And I'm definitely informed, I stay informed. I was a public servant for 8 years. But it's the matrix and it's trying to pull you into that. But the thing that I look at is, how are the younger generations reacting to all of the bullshit that's happening? And like, let's just look at Tennessee. Fucking Gen Z, I'm so proud of them. I literally feel like a happy mom that just like watched their kids graduate, because we are doing the work. It's clearly seen that this younger generation is experiencing the benefits of the work that we have been doing, because they are so much more conscious. They are so much more activated. Like, they're actually coming together. They are speaking up. They aren't allowing the bullshit to keep going on. And I truly feel like the millennial generation was like, we had the opportunity to break that door open, but not all of us did. But I really believe, because we started doing this work, like, we will see the most amazing society and we are going to benefit so much from this. But we have to stop allowing the hate in our minds. We have to stop self-hating. We have to stop drinking every single day. We have to stop eating all of the shit that's causing cancer. We have to stop stressing. Like, all of the diseases that are plaguing humanity are plaguing our spirit first. It doesn't start in our human body. The last place for it to show is in our human body. So while I love talking about how you can manifest all of the dream things, we have to have an actual conversation about, what are you doing so that you're healing yourself? How are you showing up differently day in and day out? How much of the time are you being self-aware? How much of the time are you falling into toxic patterns? How much of the time are you allowing yourself to operate in a low frequency state of being? How much of the time are you willing to play victim? Here's the thing is, in my world, I don't normalize problem frequencies, which is why you have to apply to work with me in close proximity, because you have to actually be ready to be doing the work. Like, I am for the women that are ready to break the generational curses, heal their lineage, and make fucking 6 figures a month and actually create a legacy that is going to change the collective. Like, I am here for a huge fucking mission, and if you want to be in my world, you need to be too. And this is the thing. This is the opportunity that we get to have. We get to heal ourselves, and then we get to create a fucking legacy. We get to lead the collective forward. We get to be the ones that are saying, hey, I did the really gnarly work, and now I'm shining a light forward and telling you this is how you can get here too. But I'm telling you, you cannot get to where I am right now if you are not willing to do the ugly healing work. And I'm going to call it ugly because it fucking is. You're going to cry. You're going to have to do energy releases. You're going to have to look at your past. You are going to have to question everything that you've ever been told. And I'm sorry, but you're going to have to challenge all of the bullshit programming that your parents installed into you and that society installed into you. And then you have to catch yourself every time you try and play a victim and you fall into the matrix. To be a consistent manifester, you have to become a conscious, self-aware, healed human. And I'm not saying that you have to be perfect. Healing is a never-ending job, but if you're not willing to be in the process of healing yourself, then you might as well stay asleep. Like, you might as well stay living in the matrix, because if you're somebody that wants to have one foot in the matrix and 75% of your energy and your mindset in the matrix, but 25% playing in the vortex and 25% of your energy in the vortex, like, it's never gonna work. The matrix is gonna keep pulling you in. You have to be the one that decides, I'm not doing this anymore. I am ready to be a different human, and I understand that this is gonna take more work than my job. Like, do you hear me on that? If you're not willing to work on your self-improvement more than you work on your job, I would really ask you to sit with yourself and evaluate whether you're serious about changing your life. Because I feel like a lot of people aren't actually serious about changing who they want to be. And I get it. It's intimidating. It's not fun to have to look at all of the ways that you've been a shitty human being, to look at all of the mindset beliefs that are 100% creating all of the shitty circumstances that you've gone through, to actually be accountable for all of the bullshit, to forgive everyone in your life for the things that they've done, to release, to let go, to stop holding on to people who you love that died, to, like, I'm sorry, but society has taught us to be super weak and powerless people that stand in non-circumstantial power. If you want to have a successful business, if you want to have a successful life, if you want to manifest all of your desires, you have to stop all of that. You need to be in your power no matter what. You need to be showing up and doing the work daily. Does that mean that you can't have a day where you binge and you sit and watch a show on Netflix? No, but there's also an intentionality behind what you're doing. Are you intentionally allowing yourself to enjoy the Netflix, knowing that you do actually need a break and allowing yourself to unplug? Or are you avoiding doing the healing work and you're stressed out and frustrated because you haven't gotten your manifestation yet? So you're going to sit in defeat, unshowered, and watch Netflix for 8 hours and start cracking beers. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be the one that's going to take accountability, because right now, society, they are teaching you to be the least accountable human. And then they're profiting off of your lack of accountability. So here's the thing is, you can't blame anyone. You have to stop the blame game. You have to stop the victim game. You have to stop all your bullshit. If you want to actually manifest your desires, then you need to get serious. What are you doing to energetically release the trauma from your body? What somatic releases are you doing to heal yourself? How many breathwork exercises are you doing? How much are you meditating? Do you know how to visualize? Are you doing any EFT tapping? Are you doing the affirmations? Are you actually looking and challenging the stories that are playing in your mind? Are you being serious about changing your life? Because fuck all of the things that you want to get. Yep, I'm probably the first manifestation teacher to tell you that, but fuck everything that you want to get. This isn't about getting something. It's about becoming someone. And it's about becoming the person that society programmed to think that you weren't. So now you have to do the unprogramming work. Are you willing to do it? If so, Alchemy of Manifestation is the best place for you to be, because it is everything that you need to heal yourself. I give you there's 3 hypnosis and 2 guided meditations, and I'm actually going to be adding on to that, which I'm really excited about, but more to come on that. There's an EFT tapping that's going to teach you how to EFT tap so that you can do it on your own things. And there's also a video on tapping on not knowing your purpose. If you're going through your spiritual awakening and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, or I want to change careers or whatever that is. And then there's also, I'm trying to think, there's 16 different practices in there. So there's a forgiveness practice, there's a mirror work practice, there's a cord cutting practice, there's a scripting practice, there's a journaling practice. Literally, there's affirmations, there's an affirmation MP3. I'm trying to think of all of the things that are in there. There's 11 plus hours of content. You'll learn the history of manifestation. You will learn the identity work, the self-concept work. You will learn the healing work. You will learn the deep energetic principles that I talk about. I talk a little bit about the quantum world in there, so you'll learn about quantum. If you want to go deep into that, y'all know you got to just get into quantum, because that's its own beast in and of itself. But yeah, so alchemy of manifestation, like if you're like, okay, Alexa, like I feel called the fuck out, but in a good way, I am realizing that I actually haven't been serious enough about my manifestations, and I have been playing the woe is me victim card, watching everyone else manifest and then feeling bitter that I haven't manifested. Then you want to get into alchemy of manifestation, because I'm going to help you by giving you all of the things that you need to do to heal yourself. And then all you have to do is do them. Like, just do them. And the more that you do them, and the more that you start this process of becoming a conscious human being, the faster you're going to manifest the desires that you want. But stop trying to rush the material manifestations, because you can't rush shadow work. You can't rush healing work. You can't rush becoming your most authentic self. So if you have any questions about alchemy of manifestation, you can absolutely DM me, and I would love to chat with you about it and answer any questions. If you're ready to just jump right in, you can go to alexaraysmith.com/AOM, and then you will be in for a year. So that way you can't actually let your bullshit rear up. You are committing to actually doing the work this year to become a person who manifests all of their desires, because you are actively participating in your healing and your evolution as a human. All right, I love you guys so much. Let me know how you are feeling about these episodes. If there's a topic or a subject that you really want me to do an episode on, we have a few more of these. So just let me know. You can reach out to me on Instagram. You can reach out to me on TikTok. You can reach out to me via my website, I guess, if you want to do that. Whatever you want to do, just let me know if there's anything I can help you with. And until the next episode, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.